So basically, we weren't really close friends back then, but there was something that happened. You fast forward like a year and a half later, and I had done 2 years of IHOP U. You had done how many years?
3.5.
3.5, and you were finished.
Yeah.
And I was taking a year off, and
We had gone on a missions trip together.
that's true. The
So,
summer of 2018.
Summer 2018, we went to Russia together doing human trafficking work.
Uh-huh.
And that just gave a special dynamic to our friendship, to where there was something that we shared together, an experience we shared that I considered him a friend.
Yeah.
I knew I disagreed with him on a lot of things, but I considered him a good friend.
Yeah.
And so, when that time came,
We started doing missions with Exodus Cry together.
Right.
Here in Kansas City, and then we did a month long in Russia together.
Yeah. So we kind of stayed in each other's circles, stayed in each other's lives. But it wasn't until that season that we started just hanging out more.
About the fall of 2019.
Right. And having some of these conversations with each other I felt like I knew him enough to know that he wouldn't lie to me. And he wasn't faking what he was saying.
Yeah.
And so I started asking him some of these questions and bringing up some of these things about the Holy Spirit, and just being really genuine and honest with how I felt about it. And he started just poking some holes, just like poking some little things in my like prickly shell about Holy Spirit stuff. And
I think really what sort of our friendship did was it was confronting you with some things that you experienced earlier on.
right.
And that you had had some things happen in your journey where that stuff had been, you decided it wasn't as real as you thought it was. But now you're in friendship with me, and you trust me, you like me.
Yeah.
And I'm experiencing some of these things that you were familiar with back in the day that you concluded weren't
real. Yeah.
But now you're close friends with somebody who is experiencing them even present day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so we began to just dialogue, and we would have so many conversations. And another thing too is you started like really becoming a dreamer girl. Okay.
Right. You started talking to me about dreams
And how the Lord speaks to us through dreams. Because that was something,
gosh,
I was getting dreams every night.
Yeah.
Every single night. And when we started hanging out, you started getting a lot of dreams.
Right. Right. And we would process them with each other and like kind of talk about what we think the Lord could be saying. And it was, so for me, that was a whole new realm of talking to the Holy Spirit, talking to Jesus about things that I had never been a part of my conversation really before. At least not in a daily way.
Yeah.
And so all of this to me kind of built up to one meeting. It was for the Send, which is still yet to happen here in Kansas City. But at the time, we thought the Send was going to happen that year. And they had a pre-rally here at IHOP.
Yeah.
And a couple things set it up for me. I really feel like this was the night the Lord kind of shifted stuff. But he had to set some things up to happen this way. I had agreed to go with a friend, and she got there first. And I was like, okay, save me a seat. Well, she picked to sit like row 3, right in the middle in front of the stage. And I always would sit in the back, in the corner. Like I did not want to be up front. And I was like, oh, okay, this is our spot. Another thing, I forgot my phone. I literally left my phone at home on accident, completely on accident. So I had zero distraction. Okay, no way to text my friends like, oh my gosh, what the crap is going on, right?
Right.
And amazing worship. Lindy Conan, the circuit riders were there. And then the Send people, like they're so fiery and so just like passionate but genuine and in it.
And they're up there sharing testimonies of healings.
Testimonies of healings and like getting everybody fired up. And I just remember having a couple big revelations. The first one was something in my heart. It was probably from one of our conversations, I'm sure, but something was just in me where I was like, okay, instead of like being a viewer in this worship time, I'm going to let the worship leader actually lead my worship experience.
Wow.
And it's a form of submission and letting go of control and actually letting the person on stage lead your worship and lead how you worship.
Wow.
It was the first time in a long time I think I had done that. And so worship was incredible. I was like in tears. We sit down, someone starts sharing a testimony about how their wife was healed miraculously at the last send
Of Lyme's disease,
of
right?
Lyme's disease, right?
Yeah.
And we have a good friend who actually has Lyme's disease. And so, I remember I was like, oh my gosh, that is so incredible that she got healed. And then I was like, whoa, I actually believe that she got healed.
Wow.
And I realized that for the first time, and I couldn't remember how long, I did not doubt the validity of the testimony that they
Wow.
were sharing. And then it ended with this big shout. We all were like shouting. We're like, yeah, if you've ever been in a service like that, it's really powerful when everyone is just like shouting for something. And I left just like so excited. I was like, that was incredible. That was such a great thing. And I get in the car with a bunch of my friends and I was just like, what did you guys think? And they were like, oh my gosh, the shout at the end, I just couldn't handle it. Like it was so hyper spiritual.
Wow.
And like they were on their own journeys. It wasn't bad where they were at, but I realized for the first time I wasn't there. And I want to be with someone who's going to celebrate this feeling, who's
Wow.
going to celebrate the Lord with me, get excited with me about the Lord.
Yeah.
And I was like, who in my life is going to be doing this with me? I'm like, Nathan. Nathan is the one
Wow.
that I want to be talking to because he's going to be right there with me. And then the last revelation is I want to be that person for people in their
Wow.
lives. I don't ever want to be the person that is like downplaying what the Lord did or who is like putting it down in any way. I want to be the one that people are like, oh my gosh, I had this incredible encounter with the Lord. Who do I want to share it with? Catherine will be right there with me and excited for me.
Wow.
I'm like, I want that to be me.
Yeah.
And so my friendship with you, it gave me new vision as to like actually the type of person I want to be for people.
Wow.
The type of friend I want to be for them. So anyways,
That's amazing.
yeah. Yeah.